So I felt called to pull the cards ahead of time, but I really wasn't getting that much information other than the fact that this feels like it's not taking a predominant role in your life, in the sense that it's just something that's happening in the background. So you can still function, you can still go about your life, but there's something happening in the background that, well, I'm getting witch hazel, okay? I'm getting the word witch hazel, but the way that it's showing me is it's like something that's to help the witches. So it feels like some dark energy, because this is dark energy, like dark witchcraft kind of thing that's happening in the background that somehow is affecting circumstances that will have a like ripple effect on your life. But like, I can give an example of like war, right? So if the war is not occurring in your country, then, and it's not occurring with someone that you personally know, then to a certain degree, it's not directly affecting you in that way, right? Like in front of your face. However, the ripple effect of that will be affecting you, whether or not this is something that you acknowledge, right? So that's what I'm seeing here, of something occurring similar to that in the background that is affecting you, but that predominant way that you live your life, not necessarily, unless you choose to focus on it. I'm also getting this thing of like someone is not presenting themselves in a way that is truthful. And this person or this entity, because the word entity is highlighted to me here, because this could be like a figure in some form. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the form of a person. So they're really highlighting the word entity, but it's like this entity is not presenting itself accurately or honestly, and they're presenting themselves in a way that looks more mystical, or it's like performative, rather than the real way that they're gathering some sort of information, okay? Because the way that they're pointing it is being described here in this card, the Oracle, wait for important information. So it's like this person is providing you with some sort of information, and it looks like it's in this mystical form, right? So it's like they're reading steam, and then the reality is two things: that they've gathered this information from private sources, so they personally are picking this information up from people. I'm seeing people, so it's not entity, but they're picking it up from people that have the information they're delivering to you. So to you, you're seeing it in a mystical way, but what they're actually doing is information gathering from an accurate source or sources. It feels like multiple sources. And they're also gathering information on you to a certain degree, because they're showing me her jewelry, and they're showing it as actually being spyware, and the spyware is collecting information on you in order to this entity is trying to gain notoriety, or is trying to gain some sort of stature. It's like it's self-serving in some way, and then they pull me out, and it feels almost, well, it feels satanic because they're showing it biblically. So, but it's I'm not seeing it inverted, but it's implied that it's inverted, because I can feel the energy of it being so. But when I look at it, it looks honest and honorable, but it's actually inverted. And this is something that you have been aware of, like you have been warned of this, or you've been told this, or you've picked it up, from like your guides, because they're pulling me over here. And they're saying multiple things with this, where they're saying again, repetition of this is something happening in the background, but then this is also something in the occult nature. So there's some sort of occult element to this. And this is something that is like either tying back to a biblical sense or just like an ancient sense. So ancient, occult, biblical, everything tied together with that kind of nature of energy that I'm getting here. So it's and then they're repeating something. They're saying don't confuse the two elements here, where this energy that's coming forward in the oracle card of a misrepresentative of an energy, right, or an entity that's misrepresenting themselves, that is a story that's connected to you that kind of picks up on similar energy of things that are happening in the background that I'm getting here. But the thing that's happening in the background is more of like just kind of in alignment, right? So again, let's just put this in the figure of what I was talking about with the war. So the war is happening in the background, and there's negative energies connected to that and elements connected to that. But that same energy is shared with this individual that is somehow close to you, or entity that's somehow close to you, that's information gathering on you, and it's information gathering from other sources and then delivering it to you in a way that seems what it's not. You see how those are connected but also separate? So they're pointing this outside energy, even with this earth guardian. This feels very alien to me, and it's like these secret codes connected onto this being's arms, and how it's illuminated on this entity, another entity, but this is a positive entity, a light energy, a powerful energy. It doesn't quite, I'm not, it feels, similar to archangels, but I would say that possibly, but it's in that same decree where they're of the light in a high regard and high form that sheds light. But when I'm getting the word light, it's like truth, like they shed truth, but the word truth almost feels dull compared to the word light, because light is a better descriptor, because then you don't kind of like with the not confuse the word truth, but kind of like dull it down. It's like it's limiting in some ways, depending on the way that we perceive it, right? Or our mood, or whatever's going on. Like it depends. So it's like when you shed light, you are shedding truth. You're shedding all of that. So they're pointing this out because it's this feeling like we are acknowledging what's going on with you. We're not telling you any which way of where to go. We're simply highlighting this to you to reaffirm and make clear that you are accurately perceiving this in the way that you knew that you were. And the reason why this is being shown to you here again is because you asked for this. Like you're looking for it's either confirmation or some sort of special sign or something, but this is where it's coming through. Because even here, we have Lady, enjoy growth, reap rewards, direction, guardian, choose your path, sky, father, trust in the unknown. This feels like another outside element where you're watching this split. It's almost like a split in humanity, or a split around people that are surrounding you, where you are, it almost feels like you're isolated, like you're alone, or you feel alone in this, or you feel, it's almost like this feeling like, am I like crazy here? Or I don't know if it's like really being crazy, or it's like, am I the only one seeing this, or am I the only one feeling this? Or like, it almost feels like you just feel separate here, because now they're changing the cards in my mind. They're developing this individual as you, enmeshed with like these three, but this one in a more in a form of with integrity. So it's putting you as these three: rooted, oracle, peacekeeper. And it's like, I'm seeing something one way, and then things around me are changing and adjusting in different ways. And I know that something or someone is working against me. I can feel it. Like this oracle, what we were talking about earlier, they're working against you. And you know this. But you had originally chosen to get close to them, or like invite them into your life, or watch them, or whatever, because it was supposed to bring value to you. But what the value that you're really getting from it is the value of discernment. So it's like you're becoming sharper. Like they led you to some sort of information that validated what you believe, or that you feel, or you picked up on. But this, you're realizing, or realize, came from it's been manipulated, right? To make them seem like something they aren't. You're actually what they are. You see what I'm saying? It's like this peacekeeper is the true oracle. Do you see? She's not commanding attention here, and she has her little peace pipe, and it's I feel like it's calming this buffalo, and it's also inviting the buffalo, like it's bringing attention from the buffalo. Well, here this feels like she has all of this kind of extra in the background, you know, kind of like to just cause, like it's like I'm trying to create, how do I say this? It's like for example, it'd be like if you're watching a reader on here and they have all kinds of like mystical crazy stuff, you know, like kind of like Miss Cleo or something, because then that is what people feel like is related to it, right? So then that draws people in, or it's like they're saying real, like, you get what I'm saying. It's like that. So you see, even just, it's not even just the way that it's like this. I just got the word and it went away. What are these women called? Gypsies. It's like a gypsy, but in a bad way. Like this feels like a fake gypsy. A fake gypsy, like someone who's just looking to take advantage, right? And you can see there's two different, like every little piece of this is meaningful and connected, deeply, deeply connected. So then they're tying these 3 cards together over here, and this feels like just reassurance of people, like, eventually, like, their equilibrium sets back in. Like, it feels like this is like pulling into like like life, though. This feels really big, really grand. So it's like, no matter what happens, like, look at the bigger picture of it, right? Like, people, like, they're just showing everything, like karma. They're showing the belief or disbelief in karma. They're showing the different religions. They're showing different everything, and how everything kind of just returns to love. And so just kind of focus on, what are you saying? What, give me like a concise thing to say. They're saying you are who you are and the path that you chose is right. So focus on that and don't worry about what other people are choosing. Don't worry about that, because it'll all even out in the end. Now they're pointing out something perverse, okay? And they bring me down here. And again, they're saying you need to trust yourself. Like, when I say that, what were you thinking? Trust and thrive. See? Just trust yourself. Continue to trust yourself. Trust your instincts. And this is, again, trust and thrive. And then we have take time to reflect, mirror guardian. But this, I feel, is you looking, like, she's looking into the galaxy here. So the way that it's being described to me is like you're looking at this from the right perspective. You're looking at it from the bigger picture. You're looking, what's under there? Unleash the wild within. Yeah, it's the unleash the wild within is bringing into the ferocity, really the ferocity of the peacekeeper, right? And they're showing it kind of like, I have another card in here, it's like Shaolin Master, right? So it's like someone who has the forces and the power and the ability and the knowledge to kill and dismantle or prevent something, but that's it's like the power is in like avoidance. It's like you avoid. So it's about preserving your energy, right? So then they go back to, like, again, what we were just saying. It's like, don't worry about everyone else. Preserve your energy, right? So if there is an attack, let's say a spiritual attack on you, then you don't use your momentum to fight back. You use their momentum to avoid attack. So you use it by stepping out of the way or making a move that, like a movement that's going to, again, propel them, like use their momentum to empower you, right? You just think about Kung Fu or think about any sort of martial arts. Think of or research it, right? It's like the art of using their momentum to defend yourself. So it's like you can't fight evil with evil, or you can't fight evil with that equal energy. You simply invoke and empower yourself with the power of God and light, and you move aside. That's how you combat this evil energy. So the perverse nature here seems like something that is presenting itself as happy or as successful or as, again, spiritual, enticing. It feels like something that has some sort of power or notoriety. Like when I say power, it doesn't really feel right. It feels more like a notoriety. And again, it's like if you're watching someone with a lot of eyes on them, like a lot. I'm talking like, I don't know. I mean, if it's a person, then it feels like they're led by a demon. Like, that's what it feels like. Okay, if it's someone online, it'd be someone who gets like 200,000 views each time. It's like something like that, where it's this perverse nature. If it's something in your personal life, then it's like everyone dotes on this person. And if it's some sort of thing that's happening in society, then it's like people are just ignoring it, right? It's like all eyes are on it because they're ignoring it, if that makes sense. It's like they're not focused on what's really happening. And so it's almost, do you see, it's almost like, well, if you're not seeing what's negative, then you're seeing what's positive. Even if you're ignoring it, then that's kind of the way it is, right? Because I'm seeing this feeling of neglect of an individual. Okay, let me tell you the story that I'm getting, okay? The story I'm getting, they're showing it in these cards now, is like this evil woman, this evil woman right here who's in control of this young boy. And this younger woman, she's obviously older than this young boy. And I don't know if it's picking up on the ambulances in the background, but I feel this is a sign. It's like attention. It's pulling your attention to this. Like, pay attention. This is a big. It's not necessarily a warning, even though that's the word that I'm getting. The word I'm getting, warning and pay attention, is because it's like you need to acknowledge this fully, in the sense that you have already acknowledged this. So you need to like let this sink in, that you know what you're talking about, or you know what you're feeling. Like, don't allow yourself to get lost in it's almost like getting lost in the information, right? Like, I can kind of give this another example of, like, if you feel something and you watch a tarot reading and it affirms it, and then you go watch another one and it affirms it, and it's like, okay, like, you get it in your head, you know this. Now, like, let that sink in. So there's this perverse individual I'm feeling, and it's like she controls this child and has an idea of what to do with this child as it grows up, and it even has a weird sexual element to it. And so it's this feeling of and narcissism connected to it, of like breeding this individual, this young boy, into someone that is going, like, some sort of hierarchy that has presented itself in one way, but is actually dark, very, 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 very dark. But the victim has no idea, because that's the way that they were brought up. So they've been brainwashed to believe one way and to see the world in one way, but it's in the control of this individual that feels very domineering. Now, this person also feels like they're in a very similar predicament, but different, in the sense that they feel shackled. They feel shackled to be doing, it's almost like that evil stepmother, where in this circumstance, it's a stepdaughter that's, you know, having to go do chores, right? And this young boy's living in this castle, right? And so this individual here feels like it's a journey through destiny of recognizing the shackles And then from the shackles, recognizing that what I'm doing is still of value and is still of the light and is still positive. So I have poured into my life and poured out into the world something of value and something good. Almost like I didn't realize that was really my true nature because I wasn't watching. Like I wasn't aware of this, right? And so I don't know if this connects with you specifically, like this is specific to you, or if this is more of that connection to something happening outside of you to give you a grander explanation or understanding of what's occurred. Because it feels like this person is recognizing that, like the other victim, not the young boy, but the woman in this scenario. It's like, I recognize the obstacles that are in between me releasing myself from this, but it's something that you would have done that has freed this person. So if it's about you, then you've done something that has freed your mind in order to see the path to what it is that is going to benefit this person. And so really it's them deciding when the time is to run. And then they pull me here to the Strength card and the Seven of Swords, and this seems like preparation. So again, it kind of brings me back to, not kind of, but it does bring me back to the example of war and this preparation that I'm getting here, where this person is like, you just missed the landmine. It's like you're preparing yourself because you've made yourself aware of what's to come, and you're so close to danger, but because you're protected, is it that you're protected? I mean, you are protected, but then they show me this boulder, and for some reason this boulder is being represented as your protection. This feels more like innate skill. It's like your skill that you've developed over time in this lifetime is what has allowed you to seemingly seamlessly skip over this landmine or a hornet's nest, something that's going to cause you to not get ahead of this. So you're doing effective planning, and they're connecting this to something, again, something bigger. So they're saying, in conclusion, as you are confirmed in all of this, what bigger idea is in your mind to prepare for, because you have some sort of inner knowing or inner belief, intuition that is wanting you to prepare for this. Because it's about to pop. Whatever this is, it's about to pop. And you want to be ready for this. This is up to you whether you're going to be ready for this, but they're saying to get ready for this. So the bigger reason why this is all being confirmed to you is because of this last thing that I just said, that there's something else that hasn't been discussed here that you know of that's about to pop or pop off, and you have been feeling like you want to prepare for this. So go ahead and prepare. Yeah, and protect yourself. Protect yourself with the 10 of staffs, 10 of wands, and the 6 of wands. Four of Cups. Yeah. They're saying don't, like, this is a betrayal of self is what I'm seeing here, right? It's a betrayal of self in the form of betraying your inner guidance. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't want to do that. There could be some negative consequences to that. So that's really the biggest thing here. This is why the whole lead up to this is because there's going to be bigger consequences too if you don't listen to yourself. So get on it. Obviously, if you don't feel rushed to do it intuitively, then you don't have to go panic and rush. But whatever it is, and I'm being highlighted the fall. That might be significant for you guys. The fall, because they're really showing this as like piles of leaves, and this feels like a Halloween ghost horse. The fall, something about the fall. Okay, so that's my reading for you guys, and there's a song that just popped into my head. I have to figure out, and I'll link it below. All right, bye guys.